Alright, so this is a pretty obvious type of error taking place here. You can see that fold over error, something like this, stands out, but we're going to look at more errors in this video that are very difficult, very easy to pass up and, very difficult to see in some cases. This is the 1969 Federal Reserve note with that fold over error, graded by PMG, that sold at auction for over $190. Now here is a 1977. I could definitely see something like this being passed up. Someone thinking that maybe someone just did this to the bill. It is a 1977 $1 bill here that has an obstruction error taking place. So you can see that there as we zoom in by Federal Reserve notes on the bill here. Very low grade, not a very high grade on this. So it could be in much better condition, but the bill still sold in this condition for $360 at auction. Can't beat that for a $1 bill. Now here's an older $20 bill from 1981. Not too old, but the older designs. Does have a loose cylinder error, so that affects the seal and the numbers 10 here, as we can zoom in and see that extra ink it looks like there. So this bill ended up selling at auction for over $200. Again, not a very high grade, could be in better condition, but still $200 for a $20 bill. Now here is a 1985 $1 bill graded by PCGS. Again, not very good condition. However, it does have an inverted overprint, so you'll see that the seals and serial numbers are on opposite sides of the bill and they're upside down. And you can see that the design there is misaligned as well. So this bill ended up selling at auction for over $335. Moving right along to a 1985 Federal Reserve note that has an offset printing error. So you can clearly see the back design of the dollar bill here on the face of the bill, at least a small portion of it, maybe a third of it here on the face of the bill. This bill ended up selling at auction for over $190. Now here's another offset printing error, not as major as the last bill that we just looked at. It is a 1985 $1 bill. You see that there as we zoom in. You can see the back design here on the face of the bill. This bill ended up selling at auction for around $75. Here's a 1988 $5 bill. Looks very normal here on the front. We actually got someone that wrote on it, and it looks like in pen or maybe pencil there on the front of the bill. So definitely don't do that, especially on these bills that can be worth money. But here on the back of the bill, you can't see a portion of the bill, and that's because it has an ink smear error taking place here. And this bill ended up selling at auction for around $160. Now here is a $1 bill. Looks very normal on the back, but here on the face of the bill, we see that we are missing all of the third printing. So we're missing that overprint there, the seals, serial numbers. You can actually see an imprint of the numbers and the seal, but the ink isn't there, right? So very good condition bill here, graded by PCGS. This bill sold for over $380. Now here's a 1995 $1 bill that sold for around $160 at auction because it has a missing print error. So we're missing that green seal here on the right side of the bill. So always be on the lookout for that. People may not think to look for stuff like this when they're just going through their dollar bills. But always be on the lookout for that. I think that one's pretty noticeable, but could be passed up a lot, if people are not paying attention. Not in the best condition, not a very high grade or anything, still $160. Now here is a $20 bill from 1996. Looks very normal here on the front, the face of the bill here. But here on the reverse, the back of the bill, we see that it has an insufficient inking error taking place here. So pretty obvious, this will stand out like a sore thumb. This bill ended up selling for over $335. Now here is a $100 bill from 1996. We'll see that it has a misalignment error. So the seals and the serial numbers are shifted over to the left there. It's misaligned. So always be on the lookout for that on your dollar bills or $100 bills, $20 bills, $5 bills. Something to always look out for there. This bill ended up selling for over $260 at auction. You know, over $160 plus face value. Can't beat that. Here's a 1999 Federal Reserve note. Now you really have to look for errors like this because these can be passed up a million times. So this bill sold for over $2,600. $2,600 at auction, because it has a mismatched block letter. So the letters and the numbers are supposed to be matching on both sides of the bill. If you have a number that is mismatched, that doesn't match on both sides, then you could be in for some money. If you have a letter that is mismatched, you could be in for some money as well, and that is the case here. So you'll see here on the left side, it starts with C, ends with E. Here on the right side, the serial number starts with C, ends with I. So the E and the I there on the end of the number are mismatched. So those are supposed to be matching, however they are not, and that's what makes it valuable. So always be on the lookout for that on your bills. Like I say, $2,600 for a $1 bill. Now here's a 2003 $1 bill that has an obstructive printing error, and you can see that there as we zoom in on the black seal here. That is where that error takes place. And this bill ended up selling for over $140. Getting into some more modern $1 bills here. This is from 2006. This Federal Reserve note has an ink smear error here on the back of the bill, and this bill ended up selling for around $240 at auction. Here's a $100 bill from 2009. You'll see that it has a cutting error, very obvious type of error taking place here, and this $100 bill sold for over $260 as well. Now here is a 2009 Federal Reserve note. This Federal Reserve note here is a star note, so you'll see the star at the end of the serial number. However, here on the right side of the bill, you'll see that the star is solid. So these ones are not supposed to be solid for this time period, for $2009 bills, right? So always be on the lookout for those. That can add a little extra value to your bill. It's in pretty decent condition. This bill sold for around $140. Here's a 2017 $5 bill that has a cutting error. Again, very obvious type of error that can take place on bills. So always be on the lookout for those. This $5 bill sold for over $225. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Feel free to check out the videos to the left of me. And until tomorrow, I'll see you guys in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.